Going live, going live. There we go. Now it says going live. Now it says we're live.
Oh, yay.
It said we were going live. Now it says we're live. But are we live? Or is this?
Are we?
If I said this, if this is this Memorex, would anybody out there get that?
Probably not.
I'm just
okay. There we are. So let's share this out and get some.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
so
we
have audio.
Sound. You think we're actually doing something right?
Woohoo!
We're not. Don't worry about it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it is just you and me today again.
Yes.
We were looking at some guests and everything kind of fell through for a couple of reasons, including one being a little bit timid about coming on, but we're working on him.
Well, and we're going to, we have a few things going on today, so we're going to kind of cut it short a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, we got some stuff to go over. We both had pretty good weekends.
Yeah.
Tell us about Little Toad, because you were out there. I can't say rocking it because you're doing country thing, but
I think I might have been
rocked it pretty good.
Bit.
From what I've been able to hear, I was on my way home from Alamogordo. I thought about stopping by because I could have made it for the last hour, but
oh god,
my throat was like, no. I was like, yeah.
I know I had quite a few friends that were talking about coming out, and let's face it, it was late. I started playing at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
played till midnight.
Dallas started at 9.
Julian.
No, not Dallas. Julian
yeah.
Gonzalez. Gosh, that guy, I haven't seen him in so long. We used to see him all the time at open mic.
He apparently hasn't played anything in about a year and a half.
Wow.
And
great guitar player. Love hearing him play, man.
Oh yeah. He was awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things about him and what he was doing, you could tell.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that, and I don't want to. I'm not slamming him or anything.
Right.
This is just the way that it was. I hear all these musicians that talk about at one point or another. I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to get out of it for about a year or whatever. I was like, oof. Well, I watched him and understand. Julian is amazing. He's one of the first guys I ever saw play live.
Yeah.
And that was all because of Daisy Blue. We went out to hear him at Amaro when he was playing. It was a little indoor. It was a little indoor gig, so it tells you when this happened.
Yeah, this happened a while ago.
But he's amazing. But he was a bit nervous, and it took him a bit to get into the zone, which I've never seen him have any problem with that. Basically, he was playing Blister in the Sun, which he does so well.
Yeah.
And there were some college kids that came up and they started clapping along with the clapback part, and it tickled him a little bit. And all of a sudden, you could see it. He just made that switch, and then Julian was on again. It was like yes, and it was cool. And he mixed up his originals with covers, and his originals are great. I haven't heard them in a long time, and it took me a minute. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that song. But yeah, it was awesome to see him. And he played for an hour, 9 to 10, which was unbelievable for me. I was like, really? Julian's opening for me? If anything, it should be the reverse.
I know. I would have thought the same thing. I'm like, why am I playing 2 hours and he's only playing 1? Yeah. But it's so funny. I joke about, I have no idea what stage fright is like. It has really crippled some people that are great entertainers, but for some reason being in front of big audiences really they have so much trouble with it, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I wish I could kind of give them insight or help them overcome that, because it's just I keep saying there's so much great talent out there that nobody knows about because they're too busy listening to what's out there now.
There is that, yeah. And I tell you, that's one of the things about watching Julian. His music doesn't sound like anybody else's, which is great.
It's unique. It's got his own style, and that is so great to hear. You need that nowadays because there was the 90s was bad when you had all of these 70s and even 80s. You heard a song sometimes within the first 4 beats, you knew who it was.
Uh-huh.
Definitely by the time the lead singer started singing, you knew who it was, even if it was a song you never heard before. Got to the point where you hear these songs all the time in the 90s and you could not tell who it was
Oh yeah,
until they said it afterwards.
big time.
It was really, there was a cookie cutter thing and everybody did it. Just like, well, rock or heavy metal in the late 80s started doing the same thing.
Mhm.
Everybody had the same formula. Release your single and then release your power ballad. That's how you did it.
Yeah,
And everybody started doing that because, the money was running out.
yeah.
So,
Well, I got excited because you hear something different with Julian. I actually talked to him
Yeah.
about it. Says you got to start coming out to an open mic.
yeah,
He's like, maybe I will. Okay, cool.
he did come out a few weeks ago, but
Mhm.
unfortunately he got there late and
Yeah.
Dwight had to close up the sign up sheet. But hopefully he'll get out there again because it was a fixture, man. You had Captain Kirk, me, you, Julian, and then there were some others that would show up. But at least those 4 were there every week. And we were like, it was like clockwork. We were all just like doing our thing. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Well, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But no, he finished his thing. I got up on
Yeah.
stage.
How
and,
did that feel? Because they still are busy that time.
Yes. And the thing is, late night, Little Toad feels a little different than 7 o'clock, 8
Yeah.
o'clock, even 9 o'clock. Little Toad. The feeling changes. So, and I was actually noticing the change of feel as it got closer to me getting on stage. We don't really have bars in Las Cruces.
Not
we have
really, no.
we have Palacios.
Yeah.
They're an actual bar.
Yeah.
All the other bars that we used to have, they're gone. They're long gone.
Yeah.
So we have breweries and we have wineries. And Little Toad Creek is a brewery.
Yeah.
However, the feel turned completely to that of a bar.
Really? That
And,
noticeable?
Yeah, they're very noticeable. And I think it was probably a mix of a couple of things with it being later night. I think a lot of people came over from the concert they had it on the plaza.
Oh, yeah.
It's the reason they have it on the first Friday of the month at Little Toad. They have it so late.
Yeah.
It starts at 9 instead of I think it's 7 when it normally starts.
Yeah.
Because they have a band that's playing on the plaza.
Okay.
So that band plays when they finish. Then we start over here.
Yeah.
And
they asked me to play November 4th. And
Mhm.
she said 9 to midnight. And I went,
Yes.
wow. And my wife looks at me and goes, yeah, I'm not doing that one.
But it's fun.
Yeah. Pretty fun.
I was like, oh, how is this going to work being this late? I haven't done a late night gig in a while. And I mean, I used to late night gigs that went beyond, midnight, but it's been a long time. And once I got into it, man, it was old hat and
Yeah.
it felt so good. It was fun. Got the sound set up pretty well for in there. People were into it. I got a lot of compliments on my originals,
That's
which was cool.
That's very cool.
Got some compliments on one of my not so originals, but redone thing. I got up there and did a song and said, this is by an old country performer from the deep South. And I kind of muttered into the mic, Jersey.
Yeah.
And I went into Like a Virgin as a country song.
And I'm like, and then you came over Sunday. Was it
Sunday, yeah.
It was Sunday, yeah. We came over, we were just playing it, and I'm like, I've got to hear this. And then he played it for Kathy, and Kathy's looking at me like, how did he do that?
It was fun.
It was great. I couldn't believe it. I was like, dang, I'll listen to that one because I was not a Madonna fan.
Well, to be honest, it came from a couple of different things. There's a band out called the Cleverleys. This is what they do. They're a bluegrass band, but they take modern songs and change them over into bluegrass sound. And the other thing is, of course, here in town, Dallas David Ochoa and some of the stuff he does, including he uses his looper like a maniac and sits there and puts pieces together. And he has some on his guitar, some he sits there and beatboxes into a microphone, but all these little looper bits.
Mhm.
And by the time you realize what he's doing, it's pretty well too late. He's already performing the song, but he does music by Madonna.
Yeah.
And that's kind of more of a techno feel song.
Right.
and it sounds great when he does. It's like, well,
That's cool.
I want to do something like that, but not like that, because it's not me, and I couldn't do that anyway.
Mm-mm.
That's so far beyond me.
Yeah, I thought about using it, but I don't play leads. I just strum chords.
Yeah.
I focus more on my vocals. So that's the cool thing when you come out here. There's different people that do different
Yes.
things.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that way.
I was talking to one guy, and he said, he's an awesome guitarist, and we were talking. I said, yeah, I'm more of a guitar player or I'm a singer that also plays guitar, and he goes, yeah, I'm more of a guitar player that also sings. And we kind of
it's kind of cool when you actually know thyself.
Yeah.
Know where your strengths and your weaknesses are. Yeah.
It's like talking to Jaffe Ryder. That guy can play
with
anything. Singing, he has a certain type of song that he has to sing because his voice is very distinctive, and it just really doesn't have the versatility. But when he does,
oh
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like uh-oh, here he goes. And then when he gets and he loves using a slide. When he goes, hold on, and grabs the slide, we're like, uh-oh, here it goes. And you just like, whoa, Jaffe's got the slide. Hold up.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of the slide, but I don't really do anything that makes it work right. So.
I tried it once, and I was like, yeah, no.
But no, it was cool. I had a lot of response that I was freaked out by.
Really?
I'd been online, and I let everybody I could think of online know about this show. Trying to get, I was like, oh God, I don't want the place to be empty. Yeah, that's not even a problem.
Yeah.
But I got some comments from some people, including a guy that was on one of the Las Cruces community pages. Was asking me, what my, I do covers, and if so, are they like old country? And he mentioned, Waylon and Merle. And I was like, yeah. I made sure to have some of that older country in there, and I played it, and I kind of figured that the younger kids that were in there, college age and a little bit older adults.
For us, that's they're bigger kids.
Yeah, they might as well be toddlers from our point of view. They were responsive and getting into it, and they were liking it. In fact, one of the younger guys that was there was asking me for Randy Travis.
Oh, wow.
I was like, this is interesting. Of course, they also asked me for Metallica, which I'll tell you what, I get back there and play again at Little Toad. I'll make sure I have a Metallica.
I'm not missing that one.
I don't know what it'll be, but I've always held that a lot of music, especially a lot of rock and metal, is country. The only difference is the instruments.
Yeah.
But the words, it's country lyrics. Yeah. It's basically the same stuff. It's a slice of life. It just tends to be a little more urban than rural. Although there are some country. Well, there's some country artists that are very rural. Take a look at the whole period of southern rock.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that was.
That's like, I remember listening to Southern rock, and back in the 70s there was a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, to me it was just rock, but then after a little while you're like, wait, that's got a southern feel to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we've gotten to a point today that everything kind of mixes and fits, and it's kind of what I've been hoping for. Looking back, I was thinking about this when I was in high school. I would love to see a day when nobody's so concerned about what the label is. What kind of music do you like? Well, I like country. I like rock. I like pop. It'd be more like I like music.
Yeah, back
and
in the
across
80s,
the board.
Back in the 80s, you were defined by your music. And
oh yeah.
I remember, when I said, well, I kind of like a lot of things, I was weird. I was like, really?
Okay. I won't call you out by name, but yeah, I agree completely. I just got a text from a friend saying, if you're going to do Metallica, may I suggest my personal fave? Here's the thing. This song has actually been in my head when I think about doing Metallica.
No way. Which one?
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, isn't that great? We're on the same page. Until It Sleeps.
Oh.
And that's actually a really good bluesy country song if you take a look at changing the instrumentation.
Yeah. we were talking about doing something, because that's not the song that people think of when they think of Metallica. You got to go. Now we're at the point where we're looking. I was listening to some old Men at Work, because I'm thinking there's a couple of songs I've noticed, and I think you're going to get there pretty soon, where you just don't want to do that song anymore.
Yeah.
And I just like, because I did a song, I did Cats in the Cradle, and Friday I skipped it. And then Saturday I said, I haven't done this song, so let me do it. And I did not enjoy doing it anymore. Yeah. And it's not that it's not a good song. I love the song. It's just done it. I'm evolving, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Because I added Southern Cross by Crosby, Stills and Nash. And I'm like, love playing that
one. It's a fun song.
It challenged me. Mm-hmm. And I had to put a lot of effort into learning it and figuring it out so that I could play it and sing it. And I was like, wow. And it didn't seem that hard when I picked it up.
Right.
Then I started playing. I was like, this is not easy.
Oh, yeah.
So then you just start adding things. So we were talking about go for the deep cuts that people have not heard.
It's kind of nice. I mean, you got to mix it all up. But I added a song that happens to be kind of a pandery type song, I guess. Because people are going to respond positively to it no matter what. I don't play Garth Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
I added Friends in Low Places. And it was fun because I mean, if I'm going to do this, I added the third verse.
Oh, yeah.
Because, that's more my mentality anyway.
My first wife loved country. So, and of course, every time she was in the car, we had to listen to country. And that song, the live version where he added the verse, I should know that song. Yeah. I think I do. I'm just like doing a mental block. But that was a good one because everybody knows that one.
Well, it was fun. I had a couple of friends that showed up who I have written songs about. I know at least one of them is listening, and probably the other one is listening this morning too. Uh-huh. And I got to play their songs, which is cool because I was watching their reactions in the back, and they were having a good old time. Damian Luna came out, and he was there for almost the whole thing, and he kind of got up there and helped me with sound a little bit, which was awesome. Yeah. It's hard to tweak your sound when you're the one on stage.
Yeah,
you can't even hear what's right or wrong. So
see, I have my wife, but she messes with me a lot. What? This is funny. We're at Don Felix. Luckily, they're like, she and my kids were there. My youngest daughter was on her way, and they were the only ones there because it was like 5:00 in the afternoon, and so it hadn't filled up yet. So my wife's phone rings. She's controlling my sound, balancing it for me because she, has a good ear for that. Mm-hmm. But what does she do? She wants to answer her phone, so she turns my main way down. So she can answer the phone, and something was just weird about that.
Yeah.
I looked at her like, you really just did that? She's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to be careful who you have help you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And by the way, you talk about getting tired of songs. Here's the thing. There's actually 2 of my originals I've gotten tired of.
Really?
So I haven't been playing them very much.
Oh, well, you have a lot of originals now.
Yeah.
You have what? What are you up to? 14?
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah. I've got several that they're close to being done, but I haven't quite gotten there.
Yeah. I've gotten up to 6, and I was doing that pretty quick, and I hit a block. But so I was listening to some music yesterday, trying to get inspired to write something. But yeah, you're just pulling them out of your hat constantly. That's really cool.
Hat. Yes, that's where they're coming. No, I actually went back and I rewrote one of mine.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, this sounds very flat. I mean, I'm still, the words are pretty well where I want them to be, but it's like, it doesn't sound great. And I played it a couple of weeks back. I was at TRC Brewing here in town. And I played it and it came across real flat sounding to me. So I went home and I started messing with it. And I just basically added in a bunch of extra chords and a slightly different rhythm.
That's like an evolution because at the time you wrote it, you're limited more than you are now. It's like you've got, you start hearing, there's something missing here because you can play something else now.
Yeah. And because, I was very focused on, being lyric heavy and music light. So there's been some changes as I've gone through all this. And I went back and says, here's, I kind of liked, I had this little counter rhythm in it and I liked that, but it was all the same chord. And I was like, I don't think it's the same chord. I think it's different chords on different strums. And so I started messing with it. And I couldn't have played that when I first wrote this. I just didn't have the dexterity in my fingers. And, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I'm so much better than I used to be. I am actually. But I got a long damn way to go.
And that's well, yeah. And it's like I think Keith Richards even says that if you're not trying to get better, you're not going to get better,
Right.
and you're going to get stale. I mean, that guy's
And he would know
way
stale.
up there. Yeah, and he just says you got to keep trying to improve no matter who you are and what you do. I mean, I keep remembering Neil Peart from Rush. Was at a point where he was considered the greatest rock and roll drummer alive. Okay. He was the best. And what does he do? He goes off and studies with another, I forgot the guy's name, because he wanted to improve.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of musicians were like, if Neil Peart is going off saying, I need to improve and I need to go, work on my, who the heck are we to say, yeah, I got this, shut up. And, it was like, wow. And I remember Geddy Lee liked to talk about when he came back after retooling his technique. When they first heard him play, they were like, it still sounds like him. But when they got up and started playing with him, they noticed the difference.
Oh yeah.
That's when they noticed the difference.
Well,
so it's been you just got to constantly improve. I'm playing songs now I couldn't play 2 years ago because the chords were too hard. I look at a chord and if I saw I look at a chart and if I saw the certain chords, like can't play that.
Oh yeah.
And then I recently went back and I picked up one that I was like, oh, I can play this now. And singing it is fun because it's got a chorus that's way up there. So I noticed the other day I was singing it and I was like, oh, I'm not having too much trouble with this. Wow.
Right. Well, and I don't know. There's different ways to learn different things. I have found out that apparently it's my lack of knowledge that has allowed me to do some stuff that other musicians are like, why would you ever do that? But it sounds good. Okay. Yeah. Cool. I mean, I've got a song that I actually play the low E string as a bass, as almost a bass drum now.
Oh wow.
Apparently that's not really done. So okay, cool. Well, I'm doing it.
That's it. At some point, a lot of stuff that you hear now, at some point, it was never done. It was not done,
right?
Because somebody did it, and everybody else goes, "Well, that sounds pretty cool." So, I mean, you touched on it that looking at constantly trying to improve. It's another thing. If you stop playing, it's almost like you go. I mean, I remember there was a time in '98. I felt like I was playing really well because the guys that I was playing with, they were challenging me and they were pushing me to do some pretty hard stuff. And I had to go home and work on it so that I could not sound like an idiot around these guys, and then put my guitar away for 16 years. Went to pick it up and could barely play, basic chords. And I was just struggled. And then I started playing with my praise and worship team at church. And then when I started playing a little bit more and getting some of it back, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I can play these chords. And they go, well, you better work on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Well, yeah. And yeah, when you give up that long of a period of time. Oh my goodness.
I remember one time I didn't have any gigs. And I didn't practice for 2 weeks. And that alone,
I remember that point.
Yeah, I was like,
you were also coming in here like kind of like a crackhead who hadn't had a fix in a while.
I know. I'm like, oh my god,
can I borrow your guitar? Can I play something?
I was like, oh my god, it's like because things get in the way, and you just figure, okay, so like last night, my wife was tired, so she wanted to go to bed. And my daughter was putting the other kids to bed, and I'm like, I got a half an hour before, because I don't want to play and keep my granddaughter awake.
Right.
So I go in and I grab my guitar. I played for 20 minutes, and I was like, that's good. I mean, I at least I got that. I should be playing a lot more. Like today and tomorrow, I've got one strings anymore.
Oh yeah.
So it's like gotta pace it out. So I got to practice really hard for the next couple days, and then Friday I'll practice, but not as hard.
Yeah,
because I just my fingers just for some reason not built up. I can't play my acoustic for more than an hour. If I get like over the last fall we were playing at the Maze, and I was like, okay, and she said it was for an hour, And I was like, oh, okay. So I play my acoustic. And Cheryl was like, man, I would not be able to go that much more. Not a
Yeah.
whole lot more after that. But yeah, I could play about an hour with the acoustic.
Well, and then it can be the other side depending on who you are, because I was talking to a mutual friend of ours who comes out to both of our shows,
Yeah.
and he's now taking lessons.
Oh yeah.
And he was asking me, says, I'm not playing right now. Says he's got arthritis in his fingers, and I says, well, I don't have actually arthritis, but because of the sort of work that I've done all my life, my fingers get stiff at times. What I have found is I don't have that problem when I play. When I don't play for a little while, everything starts stiffening up, and I'll wake up and I can't hardly move my hands at times. But if I'm playing regularly, not a problem.
I get it right here in the palm by my thumb. If I don't play for a couple of days, when I start playing, it starts to cramp and I got to sit there and flex.
Yeah.
And one time I did that after like 4 songs and I was playing live and I'm like, ooh, I can't do this anymore. I've got to make sure I practice.
Right. So we went through all the stuff that's going on that happened with me, which was awesome. I mean, I still want to go back.
I mean, it was still packed when you were done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they were there the whole time and they were reacting and cheering with you and singing with you. And that's cool.
And I freaked out a little bit because I wasn't paying that close of attention to some stuff because it was a lot to take in and I was nervous. I'm not going to try and hide it and lie. Apparently I didn't come across that way, which is great, but I really was.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to Julian at the end of his set. So when I finished, I looked over at the tip jar and I was like, oh, did he forget to take his money out? Because it's almost to the brim there. And I went and asked, he goes, oh, yeah, I got mine. I was like, oh, crap. I guess I did okay. And actually, I'd taken the tip jar and pushed it off to the side until I could get a hold of him.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at the bar at one point, and this woman that had been up listening to me at the front came by to make a point to tip me and to thank me. I was like, that's awesome.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And
it's not, I don't know if you're like I am. It's not so much that it's not what they're giving you, they're doing it.
Yeah.
It could be $1. It doesn't matter because I looked in there and found 20s and one time and like this over the weekend, there was a 20. I'm like, who the heck did that?
Yes.
Why did they? I mean, that's great. But, I'm not looking to, I only put the tip jar out there because a lot of people complained. When I first started, I didn't put one out.
Right.
And people complained.
Mm-hmm.
They started handing it to my wife.
Well,
and my wife goes, if they give it to me, I'm keeping it.
Well, when I started working as a DJ, I was the same way. And I was very, basically I've been a mobile event DJ, which means I've done some stuff where I played in bars, but for the most part, you call me, you hire me for your event. We agree on a price. I come out, I play, and I was really uncomfortable with tipping.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you don't have to do that. You know, and then I realized it's not always about you. Mm-hmm. It's their way to say that we appreciate what you were doing. And
there's a Christian phrase for it. Don't take away my blessing, because it is a blessing to me to be able to do that to you.
Yes.
To give you that shows appreciation. So, you want to do, I put one out there, and sometimes, and that is not what I look at. I mean, for me, of course, it's just because I'm playing. Mm-hmm. I saw this little girl dancing one time. These little girls were dancing, and grandma was dancing with it, daddy was dancing with it, and then mommy was dancing with it because the kid wanted to keep dancing. It was just so adorable. That meant more than anything else, that they were enjoying it that much. And that's wonderful to see the reaction of people. And then they come up and tell you, I really enjoyed listening to you. Mm-hmm. That's all. That makes it all worth it.
Oh yeah.
That's what makes it worth it, because they just, I had fun listening. You made our night because we had fun. Yeah. There we go. That's why we do this.
Yeah. And I think that's mainly the mindset of most musicians out here. So, be aware if you ever hear a musician talking about, I made tons of money in tips.
Yeah.
Chances are they're not talking about, I did very well for myself. Money.
It's the fact that so many people wanted to do that. They liked me enough to where they did that. And that's really cool.
Yeah. If you're giving, if everybody there is giving me ones and I've got a whole bunch of ones, I'm very happy, because everybody's sitting there and saying, you did really well. So I guess I'm kind of like a musical stripper.
There you go.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, no, don't go there.
Okay.
But yeah.
If you tune into a show later this evening, then we'll do that. I'll pull up my poll. Yeah.
Oh God. I was in a band in '98 back in California, and we literally sat and discussed the tip jar.
Yeah.
Because I went and saw bands that constantly mentioned it. We have a tip jar up here, so if you'd like to help us out, blah blah blah. And we just like, how do you guys feel about that? Nobody liked it, so we purposely did not put out a tip jar. We played in bars,
Right.
so I made an announcement like every set. We don't have a tip jar. We don't need the tips. If you want to tip somebody, tip the people that are actually working tonight.
Yes.
The bartender, the waitresses, they're doing wonderful. They're the ones that you need to tip. And we were invited back a lot because of that.
Oh yeah, big time.
All right. What you got?
I don't have anything.
Did you just pull one up? Is that what you did?
Uh-huh. With a little bit of practice, yeah. I think I've got it until it sleeps, but I'm not doing that now because oh my God, no.
No, you have to restructure and figure things out.
And the truth is, I remember da na 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 na. That's all I really remember about that song right now. Yeah. Big metalhead, not a huge Metallica fan, so I don't know their stuff super well.
No, I was a casual fan of the Black Album, like everybody was. That was pretty much it. I mean, they played some other stuff. I watched Some Kind of Monster, and that was very interesting. But they played a lot of music I didn't recognize. It wasn't until they started talking about the Black Album that I recognized anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of the few people, even though I'm not a huge Metallica fan. I'll never claim to be. I actually defended Garage. Garage had some really good songs on that. And the album just got slammed. I think partially got slammed, and I understand why, because I was not happy with them. The whole Napster music sharing thing.
that was
and
that wasn't the brightest move.
It's actually,
but I mean, I get it.
It's actually why I don't do a whole bunch of Garth Brooks. Is the same sort of attitude there.
Yeah.
You got to be careful how you come across to your fans when you've got that level of fans, because it's you know, if my fans were to give me any trouble, I'd pull both of them aside.
I know.
And say, Mom, Dad.
Like my wife said, so did your fans show up? I said, yeah, both of them.
And by the way, since I do have an actual fan that's watching, it's a joke.
Yeah, we love you. I had, and I have a few people that try to follow me around, and that's really, really nice when they show up. I have one. Okay, so I played at the Boneyard Cantina on Main Street. Had a wonderful time. It was my birthday, so it was a great way to celebrate. A bunch of people showed up. It was funny because I walked over, and one lady that tries to come and see me, but she can never make it. She was invited out to meet her daughter there. And all of a sudden I walk in and she's like, hey, and she notices I'm wearing one of my shirts. So she looks at me and goes, are you playing? I'm like, yeah. So they stuck around and they were there pretty much the whole time. And then a lady walked in. This is the fourth time, I think now, at least three. I think there was a fourth one.
And by the way, this is the show that you had at the Boneyard on your birthday.
On my birthday. It was actually on my birthday. So, and see, my granddaughter is in first grade, and for the orientation or the a couple days before school started, they had this open house where you go in and the teacher kind of talked to you about this everything. So I took my granddaughter there so she can meet her teacher, see her classroom, see some of her classmates, and I look at her teacher. And her teacher just looks at me and goes, I know you. And I went, hi. And I didn't recognize her right away. And she says, you're a musician. I said, yeah, you've been at like 3 of my shows. And not that she follows me. She just
happens to be
to be at Amaro twice. And the Bean Josephina's Gate once. She was there having breakfast with a friend. And I ended up being there, so they sat and listened to me for a while. Well, I'm sitting there playing. I'm halfway through my first set, and she walks in with her husband. And she kind of looks at me like, we got to stop meeting like this. And she was there for a good hour and a half. They sat, and her husband's such a nice guy. He was really, really nice and told me that he recognized a lot of my songs, which was a lot of fun. And it was just so funny. I mean, this woman has seen me a lot and never intended to. Then I had a few people that came in, to come and say happy birthday and listen for a little while, and it was just fun. It was really a lot of fun. I had a lot of people coming up saying happy birthday, and a couple
Yeah.
people brought cards and stuff. It was just so neat.
Mhm.
It was probably one of my best birthdays because and the night before I was up in Alamogordo and I got a really good. I actually got a new nail client because of it.
2.
Was that? I got one at least. One, yeah.
Well, yeah, 2 that talk to you. So I think,
Yeah,
as
well,
far as I'm
yeah.
concerned, anybody who takes a look at your stuff, they're going to be a client.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I'm hoping that one because there's a couple that because a lot of now when you go there, there's always people there that are only there for the weekend or passing through or something like that. So I met a lady that she's like, well, next time I'm through, I'll try and come and see you. And I had one lady that she just moved out to Alamogordo, but she wants to come and she took a look at my Facebook page because I was talking to somebody, I handed my card. My card is double-sided. It has my nail business on one side, my music business on the other. So when she turned it over, and they always turn it over and look.
always.
And I said, that's my day job. And when I said, she goes, oh my gosh, you do nails. And this other lady at the table goes, excuse me, you do what? So I gave her my card. She was looking at my Facebook page while I was playing. And she goes, how do I make an appointment? I was like, okay. And I'm seeing her Saturday.
There you go.
So it was very,
yeah.
It worked out really good. And I had a great time. They were really busy.
Mhm.
The weather held out and it was just fun. A lot of fun. So I got to play 2 nights in a row. It was a great weekend. And then
Yeah.
you came over and we played some more and barbecued. Now,
Oh, yeah.
barbecue so bad.
Yeah, you barbecue like a maniac.
I
It's a little bit daunting.
I know.
'Cause
We just like you looked at it as like, how many people are coming? I'm like, oh, no, we'll enjoy this for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
I know you looked at the game. I started pulling the stuff out. And you look at me like, what the heck?
Oh yeah, you're putting meat on the grill and just looking at it, I'm getting the meat sweats. So, yeah, this is a good time. Let's have you play something, and I'm going to disappear for a minute while you do that. I got a surprise for you today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't get excited. It might not be a good surprise. We'll wait and see.
Okay. So here's a song that I'm going to try and do. It's early to do this, but I'm going to try it because it's one of my favorite Men at Work tunes. By your leave, I think that I'll be going now. Think I've stayed a little low. I looked up on my mother's recipe. I can't think what I did wrong. We go to a restaurant, but you don't like wine. You say it's love you want, but there's no time. I realize I can see it in your eyes. You keep staring at the floor. Used to look at your school photographs. I can't have them anymore. Wonder who's in my old college room. I'm stuck on my own locker door. I dream of the ships at sea on a stormy night. I wish that it was me, but I wake in fright. I realize I can see it in your eyes. I only got myself to blame. Winter kisses when your lips were blue. Like chasing wild geese in the snow. Pressing faces on the window pane. That's a long, long time ago. We go to a restaurant. You say it's love you want. I realize I can see it in your your eyes. Moving on to something more. I realize I can see it in your eyes. I've only got myself to blame. Okay, that was a little rough.
That was cool though, and perfect timing.
Oh yeah,
So
that was. I love that song.
the original goal was we're gonna have some friends here. We were gonna have some cake, but
Aw.
it didn't quite work out that way. However, we're gonna do something else.
Okay.
I have some ice cream for us to
Okay.
try. I just opened it.
This ain't plain ice cream. I know it is.
This ain't plain ice cream. No. So let me hand you that, and I will tell you what it is, because I'm not going to do this to you where I'm going to be like, "Oh, try this," and then I'll tell you what it is, because I want you to know what it is before you taste it.
Okay.
This is a company named Van Leeuwen's.
Uh-huh.
I saw this actually on a video for It's a Southern Thing, and then I happened to be in Walmart and saw this in the store, and I was like,
wow.
"Oh, I've got to get this. We've got to try it, and we're going to try it together."
Okay.
Both of us, we have never seen this. Until I opened it, I couldn't even smell it. By the way, it doesn't smell like much. I just held up the deal for the camera. This is their limited edition ice cream. It's a French ice cream. The flavor, so if you don't like it, we don't have to eat it all. Kraft macaroni and cheese ice
dear
cream.
God.
But I figured, hey, you know,
I have to at least try it.
what does it hurt to try?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Interesting. I'm not a big macaroni and cheese fan.
I don't know about this.
I know you do.
But it's one of those you definitely want to take a second shot, because you're never going to eat this again, probably.
Oh, yeah.
It's right there.
I'm not big on macaroni and cheese, so that's why I'm like, this could be really close. Let me try one more time.
There's a problem with this. It's so close in taste, but it's cold.
That's just weird.
Oh,
that is weird.
Okay. So if you happen to see it in the stores and want to try it, now you know our reactions.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time getting it down.
That's funny.
Oh God.
I'm proud of myself for trying it.
I'm so proud of you for trying it, because that's not an easy thing to do. That's been actually sitting in my fridge for a couple of weeks, because I've been like, oh yeah, we got to do this. And I was actually, the plan was to have, among other people, Truman Provencio come back with us, and he was going to try it too. And we may still have him try it when he comes in. But
don't pay attention to what we just saw. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this over here. We'll save it for later. We'll finish it while we're off the air.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, finish
That's
it.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Amazingly weird.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool weird.
Yeah, it is a cool weird, but weird.
I mean, there's stuff that's like, oh my God, that's the most disgusting thing ever. The thing is, that's not the most disgusting thing ever, because it's like, that's definitely mac and cheese. It's just, yeah, I don't know why anybody would do that. They had two flavors, and I decided, no, we're not going to do the other one. The other one is Great Poupon.
Oh, God.
Like, oh my God, I can't imagine.
Why? Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, well, good night, guys. Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know what time it is. Oh, shoot. It is 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and you haven't played anything yet.
That is true. Fine. Excuse me a minute. Okay. So my thought has been, I've always wanted to do, it's basically, there's a channel on YouTube called the Try Channel, and they do this regularly, trying different things. And I've wanted to set up a table and have a bunch of people come in and we try stuff, but I want to be part of the trying too, because it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch them try something that they enjoy. Yeah. It's really fun to watch them try something that torments them and traumatizes them. And I kind of want to be a part of that too.
My daughter was trying to get our oldest granddaughter, Chloe, she's 8 now. This was last year or something like that. She had been trying to get her to try more things, try something different, and wasn't working. So she tricked her and said, let's get a bunch of stuff and let's try it. Let's do a Facebook Live so that people could, so we'll do it. And she did.
Yeah.
They had such a good time. It was hilarious. We were watching Chloe's reaction and Catherine's reaction, and just it was hilarious. They did, I don't know how long it was. It was so funny. And Chloe tried stuff because that way she could tell people this was awful. This actually wasn't bad. Oh, I actually like that, and it worked because now Chloe will try just about anything. She'll at least try it once.
And I think that's important.
Yeah.
I had friends growing up that their parents basically let them only eat what they liked.
Yeah.
And it got to a point their palates were so narrow.
Yeah.
It was hard to go somewhere and eat with them because it's like, oh, I can't eat that. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. And that, well, when did you try that? Oh, I've never tried it, but I know I won't like it. Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Part of the thing that I've loved about food, and I'm one to talk. I'm was trying stuff that I'd never tried before and saying, oh, it's worst thing it's going to be like you spit it out and it's like I'm not going to eat that. And I discovered some weird stuff. The first time I went to an Italian restaurant here in town, and I had a meal with calamari in it. Let's face it, a large part of the reason I did it is because my mom was there and she'd been giving me some grief, and I decided I was going to gross her out. And then I discovered I really like this.
10th grade biology class, our instructor was talking about, we went it through, we were talking about snails and stuff, insects and he said, and he got to snails and he said, these aren't the ones you make escargot with. The ones that you make escargot with and everybody went, ugh. And he looked and went, how many of you have actually had escargot? Because apparently he got that reaction in every class. We were the 5th period class out of 6. So he goes, how many of you have actually tried it? Nobody raised their hand.
No.
So he finally said, fine, every class, about 2 weeks later, every class, he made escargot.
Right.
And had everybody try it. So he pulled one out, me and this other guy, we made a bet. We just commit, we're going to do this. We tried and we're like, oh, that's not bad. It was a little chewy, kind of tasted like beef, but it wasn't, it had different flavor. It wasn't bad. And then so these other 2 girls go over and they try it and they just let it to their heads and they were running out to the sink. Well, nobody else wanted to try it after that.
Oh yeah.
So now
that had nothing to do with the taste.
Exactly. There's this big plate of escargot. Nobody wants any. And the instructor so my teacher looks at us and goes, you guys want to finish these? And we're like, can we run over to get a soda? And he goes, go ahead, be right back. So we went over, grabbed a soda, sat at the lab desk while he was doing his lecture, and we're eating, and people were getting grossed out by us.
Yeah.
But I was like, dang, I went to a restaurant with my first wife, and it was a French restaurant. And I said, oh, they have escargot. And she looks at me and goes, you are not going to eat it. I said, actually, I am. And I ordered it, and it was even better because all he did was throw in some garlic and butter and cooked it, and it was still good. This was really good. And I just remember doing that. I was like, oh my gosh, because we tried it. We bet each other we would try it,
Well, it's for me, it's funny because especially friends that I have that are not local.
Yeah.
Because when you're local, chances are you've tried it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love a good bowl of menudo.
Oh.
But it's funny because the people that your reaction right there.
Right.
That's it.
We all give the same reaction. I was at somebody's house one time and the lady says, I made a big pot of pozole, and I looked at her funny, and she goes, not menudo, pozole. Now, pozole, oh my gosh, I've had many different people, and nobody does it the same. It is awesome stuff. That I love. Menudo, I had a family that was Mexican. She used to make it twice a year, and I tried to avoid her house every time.
And I love it. And I actually found out that one of the restaurants here in town, Victoria's,
oh yeah,
they used to do menudo only on the weekends. By the way, as far as I'm concerned, best menudo in town. Wow. Really good. They're now doing it every day of the week.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, oh,
that means you got it. That means you got a reaction from it. So
oh yeah.
Cool.
So it's and the thing is, and they make it fresh every day. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's tough.
Here's the thing. I've been to places where they make it daily, and it can get kind of gross.
That must be like one person's job.
Yeah.
Period. You know.
Well, the thing is, when you're cooking, and for those of you who might not be local, might not know, the meat in menudo is tripe, cow stomach, and it's not as gross as it seems.
Yeah.
Believe me,
Yeah.
you just got to get out of your head what it is. By the way, I understand there's stuff I can't eat. I got a friend that eats, cooked, fried or whatever insects, and I can't get through my head. But I'm phobic.
Yeah.
But no, it's really good, but it's incredibly fatty. So to make it, you have to sit there as you're cooking it, and you're skimming fat for forever because it's rendering it up. And I tell you, I've never had a layer of grease on top of my menudo from them. They make it just perfectly. And the bowl is a little too big to eat for the large. The small is a little too small to eat because then you run out and you want more. The large bowl is a little bigger than what you're comfortable eating usually, or at least what I am. But I still always finish it because I ain't leaving that behind.
Yeah, there's places where you go to eat and it's like you're done halfway through because like Andale's Doghouse, they make huge burritos and I'm always done a little more than halfway through, but you can't stop.
No.
So, all right, what you got for us?
Okay. Well, I added a little more country.
Okay, go ahead.
Because with doing that show, I wanted to make sure I had some covers that were a little different, stuff I hadn't played much.
Yeah.
So of course, let's be honest. If you're gonna play some country, you got to play some Merle.
Oh, go for it.
I'm tired of this dirty old city. Entirely too much work. Never enough. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Crap. Hold on. I'm tired. Oh, that's why. You're shooting for the rafters, and I'm starting there normally. I'm tired of this dirty old city. Entirely too much work. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. So, yeah. Thank you very much. You ever had one of those days you don't have a song in your head? And that happens to us a lot, doesn't it?
It's, I did that not too long ago where I was like, I could not, I tried to play to practice and everything I touched sucked.
I've been there.
I'm just like, really? I just couldn't play a thing. And I'm like, this really better not happen this weekend,
So instead, I'll switch over to some a good old country band that I love called Hailstorm.
Okay.
Drinking wine, my darling, you said, take your time and consume all of it. But the roses were only to drain my inspiration. The promises were spoiled before they left your lips, and I breathe you in again just to feel you underneath my skin, holding on to the sweetest skin is always laced with a familiar taste of poison. Not about any relationship I was in. There's a disclaimer. I tell myself that you're no good for me. I wish you well, but desire never leaves. I could fight this to the end, but maybe I don't want to win. I breathe you in again just to feel you underneath my skin, holding on to the sweetest escape is always laced with a familiar taste of poison. I don't want to be saved, I don't want to be sober. I want you on my mind, in my dreams, behind these eyes. And I want to wake up. No, not this time. I breathe you in again, just to feel you underneath my skin. Holding on to the sweet escape is always laced with a familiar taste of poison. I breathe you in again, just to feel you underneath my skin. Holding on to the sweet escape is always laced with a familiar taste of poison. Familiar taste of poison.
That's cool. That's cool.
Tell me that's not a country song.
That is totally that. Well, you know what? That's pushing it because it's got definitely country, but it's not that much. That's cool. That was a good song.
I love that
like
group.
That. I like that.
If you've never heard Hailstorm, you need to listen to Hailstorm. I have such a huge crush on Lizzie Hale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You also got to listen to Ailstorm. Try that one. That one's good.
And while you're at it, you can listen to some local bands.
Yeah, let's do that. We have some time. We're going to have to cut it short.
Yeah.
I have to cut it short at least because I got to get back. But
it's time to hit this.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on.
So let's see. God almighty. Yeah, somebody posted a Star Trek, a Star Wars meme that came up at the front of things. I was like, oh my God. By the way, we got new shows coming on Disney Plus, so get ready. We got Star Wars Andor is coming, I believe, next month.
Yeah, that one looks really interesting.
They're going to have She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, starts on the 18th of this month. I'm so psyched because it looks like it's going to be like the comic I used to love.
Oh, cool.
And I just got news that one of my favorite new shows, Seth MacFarlane, who created Family Guy and American Dad and all, he's been doing a show called The Orville. And it's basically his take on Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
And everybody's like, oh God, he's going to sit there and just mercilessly make fun of it. No, he's a Star Trek fan. The show is actually a big love letter to Star Trek. And it's got a very similar feel. They've had 3 seasons so far, and it's such a good show. It's really, really, really good. I mean, to the point that, they did an episode. I was all welling up with tears in my eyes watching it. It was so well done.
That's good.
But they were on Fox and they went to Hulu. Well, Hulu has said they're not going to do any more seasons. They just announced at San Diego Comic-Con that all episodes will be moving to Disney Plus. So there may be another season in the works.
Wow.
So let's start off here. This Friday, Little Toad Creek, starting at 8 p.m. Damian Luna is going to be playing with Dave Olguin.
Very cool.
So that's going to be awesome. Definitely go check them out. I think I'm going to, unless something really weird is going on, I think I'm going to be out there to check them out at least a little bit later on in the evening. I haven't heard Dave play in forever, and I love Dave. I love both of them to death.
Yeah.
The King Bees are going to be playing this Friday at 7:30 to 10:30 in Vintage. The King Bees. This is Papa Blue.
Oh,
with his little band put together.
Okay.
Yeah. So with special guest, guess who's back in town? Daisy Blue.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Lush Life is going to be playing at Rio Grande Winery this Sunday at 4. Don't know that much about them. Oh, so it's been canceled.
Oh.
Not that one. This one.
Oh.
Grape Stompings Challenge at Amaro Winery and
Oh.
Tap Room has been canceled.
Oh
Apparently,
dear.
due to unforeseen events, we need to cancel the Grape Stomp. We apologize for any inconvenience this might cause.
Oh man, that was a fun time last year.
Yeah. So
They had a blast. So
if you were looking
hopefully-
for that, that was supposed to be this Saturday,
Oh,
but it won't be
man.
going on.
Well, hopefully they'll reschedule that
Yeah.
because that was a really cool thing.
We'll see what happens. This Saturday, starting at noon, C.L. Smith from, of course, Rockabilly Strangers
Mhm.
is going to be playing out at Sparky's and Hatch.
Oh,
I got to make a run soon.
I know.
And
Missed that place. Haven't been there in a long time.
yeah, and Drag Queen Downtown will be at Little Toad Creek this Saturday at 9 p.m.
Oh wow.
with, of course, Ivana Bump,
Okay.
who actually they did an interview with him in the Las Cruces Sun News.
Yeah.
I'm saying him because he, in the picture and all, he was dressed as a guy.
Oh, okay.
It's a confusing thing with drag queens because it's not quite the same as some
When-
other stuff. Because
When
yeah,
they're in drag, you call him a her. When they're not in drag, you go with him. That's the
Yeah.
way my son was.
Yeah, and
Or
it's-
he still is. I think
Mhm.
he's still doing it. He can't stop. He has to keep doing it once in
Good.
a while.
we've been talking a little bit about possibly doing
Yeah.
some special stuff and maybe having him come out and help us.
Oh, that would be so cool if he could.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's really popular out in so I always say it. I have 4 kids, 3 girls and 2 boys, because Janessa Janessa Highland is his stage name, and I counted her.
Yeah. This Friday at Amaro Winery, starting at 8 p.m., they're going to do an 80s and 90s dance party with DJ Elias Villez.
That's cool.
I love that he's a DJ that uses his name.
Oh, that's cool.
Boneyard Cantina this Saturday, starting at 6. Sage Gentlewing is going to be playing out there.
Okay. Gotta go catch him and watch his. I love he jokes. I joke with him. I was like, yeah, look how many chords I got. He's got like, I don't know, 20 something chords that he uses, and I have 3.
Oh, yeah.
He watched me pack up and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Jessica Flores is going to be back out at Rio Grande Winery
Oh,
this
very
Saturday
cool.
at 6. And Icebox Brewing Company on Picacho this Saturday, starting at 6. Taylor Paul,
Oh, he's back.
and who has released his
Yeah,
album.
that's right. His new album.
And it sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't even tell you. I think the world of Taylor Paul. He's one of these guys. He moved down here from Albuquerque, didn't know anybody, and he just starts showing up to open mic.
Got
and,
into the music community, and
yeah.
that's all you need to do.
and when I first saw him, I'm not gonna say when I first met him because I didn't meet him. I just saw him.
Yeah.
He's sitting over there by himself, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. But the second week that he came out, I made sure to go up and talk to him. I was like, okay, well, he's coming regular, so he's got to be a part of all this.
Yeah.
And I went and started asking about his guitar, and we started talking. And he's the nicest guy in the world.
He's a
And-
great guy. We had him on at one time. So
Yeah.
time to bring him back.
Oh, definitely. His music is amazing.
Yeah.
Insightful, and for his age, he shouldn't be writing some of the stuff
Yeah.
he's writing.
It's like
It's just so good and so
yeah.
worldly.
I got like 25 years on him, and I'm like, I'm writing about what I know, and because I've experienced so much, but
Yeah.
it's like you sit down and talk to him because he's pretty open, like you said, worldly. He's done a
Mhm.
lot in his short time.
Yeah. Good and bad.
Young kids.
Yeah. I've got some stories I could tell, but it'd be so much better if we can get him to tell them
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
Of course, Don Felix, we talked about that this Saturday
Yeah.
at 5. You're going to be playing out there.
That'll be me.
Icebox Brewing tomorrow at 5. They are doing a beer release party for their new beer, Happy Badger Summer Ale.
Ooh.
So, I don't know. There's not a whole lot that Icebox has put out that I haven't liked.
Yeah.
Right now, they have one that I'm just loving. It's their Irish Stout.
You know what? I tried that.
Mhm.
You had me try that, and that was not. And I'm not one for dark beers, but that was pretty good.
It was really good. It's kind of like a Guinness, but without that bitter
Yeah,
hit.
it had that. Yeah. See, there's
Yeah.
there's a drink that I used to get when I was a kid, and they actually have it out here. I just can't drink as much of it anymore. Called Malta, which that reminded me of.
Mhm.
It's a non-alcoholic. I used to drink it when I was a kid,
Yeah,
and it's but it's basically made of a lot of the things that beer is made out of.
right. Ooh, speaking of Taylor Paul, and this might be a better one to go to for me anyway. He's going to be playing at TRC Brewing here in town this Sunday at 2.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, that's another great
It makes it
place
for
to
a
hang
great
out to.
afternoon
Yeah.
because on Sundays, TRC Brewing is doing
Mimosa.
their mimosas. They've got a food vendor out there that's, whoa,
They're really good.
really good.
I can't remember their name though.
Yeah, I need to get their card
Yeah,
next
we
time
need to
so we
get them
can
because
start
we
talking.
but go out there.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's good stuff.
yeah, last time I was up there, I got these sliders that they do their sliders on Texas toast of all things.
I know.
Yeah, dill pickle slices, big slice of pineapple,
Yeah.
and then fried spam.
Uh,
It was so good.
It's like Hawaiian delight.
Oh yeah. um High Desert Brewing today at 5 is going to be doing a fundraiser for John Northcutt Memorial Arts Scholarship. Join friends and arts patrons for an event at the High Desert Brewing Company on August 10th today, 5 to 8 p.m. Music by C.M. Adams and C.W. Ion.
Ah,
Contributions will go to an art scholarship at NMSU for a budding artist and Doñana County resident.
cool.
Places over there, 1201 West Hadley, if you've never been. Great food.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you can also send contributions by way of Kiwanis Club, budding artist, P.O. Box 16606, Las Cruces, New Mexico 88004. Because the show is up after we finish it recorded, you can go back and get that address if I said it too fast. But if you go out there, High Desert, they've got really good food. They've got really good fried food snacks, and I have a hard time drinking their beers for one reason only.
Mm-hmm.
They make the best homemade root beer I've ever had.
Oh wow!
And I'm kind of a root beer connoisseur. That's that's my big yeah. I'm crazy for root beer, and I'm a little bit out of control at times. I have to be really, really careful with it. I will just that's all I want to drink. Gotta say real quick, Blade Runner, the final cut is going to be playing at Alamo Draft House in El Paso this Saturday at 10.
Gosh.
And I actually sat there and watched Blade Runner again recently. So I hadn't watched the new one, so I watched them back to back.
Oh, okay.
Really good. And when you watch them back to back, the second one is a lot better than you thought.
Oh, wow.
This Saturday, starting at 3 p.m. at Amaro Winery, Truman Provencio is going to be out there.
What, on Sunday?
On Sunday.
Oh,
cool. On Saturday. Saturday.
Okay.
3 to 6. So it looks like the food trucks are going to be out there as well.
Yeah.
So that's going on. Doing quick.
I usually start. I think I'm going to pass by and catch them for a little while before I have to go over to Don Felix.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. If you happen to be a girl, I'm not. You're not, right?
No.
Okay. So this isn't for us, but this is for you girls. Whiskey Dicks is going to be doing a girls' night out show this Saturday, 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Doors open at 7. You want to purchase your tickets ahead of time. Girls' Night Out, the show, is an intensely exciting sex god ab party that will drive you absolutely wild in the best possible way, of course. These guys will bring down the house with a mantastic night of fun and excitement. Get ready for the best girls' night ever. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, bachelorette party, divorce, dirty 30, or your sheer awesome self, you will.
That's great.
And just so you know, this might help you make your decision to go ahead and check that out. I will not be on the poll. So. Of course, tonight at Amaro Winery is karaoke. Starting at 7:30. Tomorrow night at Amaro is open mic, starting also at 7:30. And I know I'll be out there. I'm hoping to see you there. You've been having some issues getting out here lately, but
I know. I'm hoping to make it this Thursday.
Yeah. Oh my God. Community Foundation of Southern New Mexico this Friday at 6 is doing their 10th annual Celebrity Karaoke Awards ceremony.
Oh, wow.
Join us as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of our annual fundraiser. Celebrity karaoke and virtual lip sync battle with a live awards ceremony, silent auction, and hors d'oeuvres in the beautiful new home of the Community Foundation of Southern New Mexico. That's 2640 El Paseo Road. I haven't seen the place. So they've got that going on. Movies in the park over at Apodaca Park this Saturday at 8 p.m. They're going to be doing Sing 2.
Ooh,
So that's a
I've
good one for
seen
bringing
that
kids up.
movie too many times.
I've never seen the second one. I never even saw all of the first one.
It's as cute as the first one. It's really good. It's just I've seen it. My granddaughter, and then get a 6-year-old, they just loop everything.
Yeah, I like a lot of these animated kids movies, and that one just did not do it for me. So I never even finished it. However, the same time that came out, about the same time Zootopia came out.
Oh yeah,
I can't get enough of that movie, and I heard they're doing a sequel.
Oh cool.
So I'm ready for that. Plus the other sequel coming to Disney Plus soon. They're doing Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, that's right.
With the original Three Witches. Bri and Ethan are going to be at Les Combs here in Las Cruces this Friday at 6. And this Rio Grande Theater. Let me see. Yeah. Saturday at 8 p.m. We talked about them doing the casting for it. Shadowcast is going to be doing Moulin Rouge.
Very cool.
So this is the one by Baz Luhrmann, the movie. So the music is odd.
Yeah.
And odd for me tends to mean cool. So we'll see what happens there. What else? I'm getting through this as quick as I can. I think that's everything that is Las Cruces and a little bit that was El Paso.
Yeah.
So yeah. Somewhere in between, Jessica Flores this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. is going to be at Sombra Antigua Winery. Oh my God, Alamo Drafthouse on Saturday at 1 is going to be playing Detective Pikachu.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I just gotta say that's freaking awesome to me.
Yeah, that is funny.
Also, Las Cruces Community Theater going on right now is Nonsense. So if you want to go out and see some live action musical theater, that's a good one to see. And the community theater is not terribly expensive to get tickets for.
That's cool.
So you can do it without killing yourself on prices. It's hard, especially with a family, to do a family night out anywhere because
so hard.
Oh my God. At least that's what I hear.
Yeah.
For everybody in my household to go out and see a movie cost me the price of a single ticket because I found a way to finagle that.
There you go.
Just become impossible to live with. And all of a sudden, your prices on everything goes down. Your costs drop. Is that jaded or what? Okay.
I have my son Nick, before he realized he was gay, he was dating, and he'd always break up with girlfriends before like Christmas, Valentine's. So I was like, dude. And when he said, he's one of the ones that when he said, "I think I'm gay," I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you are." He's like, "I just want to let you know." And I'm like, well, first of all, congratulations being true to yourself. Second of all, I knew. Yeah. There was no doubt.
Oh yeah.
And he was a lot happier after that, though.
There you go.
He did. There was a change in him after that, so I'm glad he did. But yeah, that's one of the things he used to always do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then we don't have to buy a gift. I'm like, wow.
I've heard that before. I've had friends that have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I had friends that suddenly it's like, well, Valentine's Day was several weeks ago. It was about a month ago, and just so you know, I'm getting married now. I'm like, oh, dude. Won't go into specifics, but watch yourself.
My wife and I, I try to do something like, I'll cook someone exactly what she wants for dinner or something like that. We don't really go out and go shopping for each other because we do that all the time anyway. So like for my birthday, she was like, "Did you want?" I said, "No, last year they gave me a guitar."
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still riding on that one. But this year I told my wife and my daughter, my birthday's covered because we're going out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get to play. And my wife came with me. She doesn't come to all my shows.
Right.
But she had a great time. You showed up. Thank you so much. Because that was great. And then it was nice to see her socializing with, she got to meet one of my clients who stopped by.
Right.
And this is a client that is one of those East Texas ladies. Nobody's called by their first name. Everybody's sweetie, honey.
Oh yeah.
Baby, stuff like that. So she texts me to get an appointment. She goes, "Hey, sweetie, I need it." And she's calling you sweetie. I'm like, she calls everybody that.
That's regular.
She spent like 5 minutes talking to her. She goes, "I get her now."
Oh yeah. Well, bless her heart.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, that was a short one, but
yeah. But we got through.
We got. Hopefully next week we'll bring somebody in to have some fun. We should reach out to a few people. I'm they're probably getting bored with us, but
Yeah.
but
Well-
yeah, it's going to be a good week.
Yeah.
I get to play this weekend. I'm stoked.
Awesome, man.
And then
And I'm talking to some places.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have some announcements soon.
that'd be cool. Be cool.
But yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
That's it. So we will see you next week. Thank you so much.
You guys take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.